Hey guys, and welcome to day 4 of the World Cup. And today I had another brilliant set of games. Today, of course, was the start of the title defense for Germany, Brazil's entrance into the World Cup, and Serbia and Costa Rica battled it out as well. Here's my matchday review. They started with a brilliant game between Serbia and Costa Rica. Serbia coming in as the favourites for that game, and they delivered really. I mean, they showed signs of threats for Costa Rica, but they didn't have it all their own way. Costa Rica battled well, and at half time they got to a 0-0 scoreline, which was quite decent for Costa Rica. But in the second half, Serbia definitely stepped up their game. Milivojevic Savic, someone who's been linked with Manchester United and a few other clubs in England, stepped up his game. But it was the veteran Kolarov, the captain for Serbia, who stepped up and put in a magnificent free kick. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's typical Kolarov. But he delivered, he stepped up and delivered a brilliant free kick into the top corner, leaving the keeper with no chance. Navas, of course, in goal for Costa Rica. And then after that, they sort of laboured through the game. A couple of chances for Mitrovic, which he kind of scuffed his lines, proving maybe why he was released from Newcastle and maybe he's only a championship player. And the other end, Costa Rica, huffed and puffed, but didn't really cause the Serbian defence any problems. In the end, Serbia took an easy victory, really, 1-0. And that saw them top of the group at that stage. And then next up we had Germany. Germany took on Mexico, obviously the world champions, the reigning champions of the World Cup. They had their chances to start, and they started with quite a similar sort of team that won the World Cup in terms of the way they played, the formation, and how they played throughout that tournament. Obviously Timo Werner, the new guy, up top for Germany. And you could say they didn't really pay enough respect to Mexico, really, because they didn't really adjust their system to how they played. Mexico were always going to come with pace. This Lozano guy is ridiculously fast. And, you know, for someone like Kimmich, he's one of the best right-backs in the world at present. He couldn't handle him. He was running at him all the way. And Kimmich is an attacking fullback as well. So when Kimmich did attack, it left gaps in behind, and Lozano was able to get in, and that's how they got their first goal, because Kimmich was out of position. Ozil filled in there, obviously not a right back, and he got easily chopped in, and a great finish from Lozano for that goal, and left the Germany defence a bit bewildered by that. And actually it was before that as well. They had Lozano had other chances, and they tested Neuer a couple of times, so they had the warning signs, but they didn't take it. Hummels sort of got turned as well on the halfway line by Chicharito, and in the end, really, it was a poor performance from Germany. They came back into it in the second half a bit, a couple of chances. Kroos hit the bar in the first half, and then Brandt came on in the second half. He hit the post. Kimmich tried a little overhead kick in the area, but it didn't really show enough for me, Germany, to show why they are the reigning world champions and whether they deserve to get anything out of the game. I think Mexico was superb, especially in that first half. They ran them ragged and then sat back in the second half, and Germany couldn't find a way through. It was a little bit like watching Arsenal trying to break down the team, especially seeing Müller in there trying to pull the strings. But yeah, it didn't work. Nothing really came off, and there's a lot of talk about whether Germany missed a certain pacey player on the wide positions. A lot of talk about, obviously, Leroy Sané being left out of that squad. Would if he made a difference? But you know what? We need to forget that talk now. Leroy Sané is not there. He's not playing for Germany. He's not at the World Cup. The commentators need to let that go. Germany have already let it go. They've got their team now. They chose Draxler. Draxler had a decent game. He didn't like potential. But this is the problem I have with Draxler. Okay, he was chosen into the squad, and he obviously got a start today over Royce and Brandt. But he showed he was okay, but he's not really stepped up his level as we thought he might do when he was at Schalke. I was expecting him to go to PSG and light up the stage a bit more, but he didn't really. It's not really happened for him, and for Germany as well. So, you know, he didn't have the best of games today. He was, like I said, he did okay, but didn't really create enough. There was a chance there for Timo Werner in that game as well to get a goal, but hit a shot at the keeper, and maybe the Draxler option to pass was much better. But overall, you know, a disappointing display from Germany, and Joachim Low will need to really go back to the drawing board now to see what they're going to do, because they've obviously lost this game. Their other group game tomorrow is Sweden and South Korea, I believe. So they now have to watch that with intensity to see whether they're going to get through this group, whether they're going to win. This group is going to be tough now, because obviously Mexico got the 3 points and they've got 0, and they're now got to watch South Korea and Sweden to see where they're going to get their wins from. It could be the world champions knocked out of the World Cup already. Obviously it's early stages, and we will wait to see what happens. But things are not looking good for Germany, and things are also not looking too rosy for the favourites, the joint favourites, Brazil, coming into this World Cup joint with Germany. They didn't get off to the best starts as well. They sort of stuttered through their game against Switzerland, picking up a 1-1 draw. Started brilliantly for them though. Coutinho with a magnificent effort from about 25 yards straight into the corner of the net. It was a brilliant finish from Coutinho. Trademark Coutinho. The Coutinho we're used to seeing in the Premier League at Liverpool, still delivering at this stage, in the big stage. And at that point you're thinking, wow, can Brazil now step up the game and just take away Switzerland? And you know, there's not been many great performances so far this World Cup, and we just expected Brazil to kind of step up their game, but they didn't really. They controlled the game, I'd say, up until half time, and then all of a sudden Switzerland came out like they wanted to get something from the game, and they mustered in a goal from Zuba from a brilliantly whipped in cross from Shaqiri, corner kick from Shaqiri, which he found himself in a load of space with about 5 Brazilian players around him. And he got a header in, and he was given the goal. VAR did review it and decided that there wasn't a foul on Miranda, how they thought there might be. A VAR coming in again, not to the hand of Brazil today. And you know, and they also denied a penalty as well later on in the game. But Brazil didn't really must. I mean, they had a few chances towards the end. Neymar had a chance. Firmino had a chance as well. Miranda had a chance. But Brazil, we were told, were going to come in with their flair, with their players. They dominated the South American qualifier. They qualified. I think they were the first team to qualify for the World Cup after Russia, the host, of course. And you know, we were expecting them to just come out and start blowing teams away. Maybe they'll do it in the next couple of games, because Costa Rica didn't look that great today, so they got them next and may be able to do it to them. But they need to step up their game, and that goes the same for quite a few teams now. Obviously, Germany have lost, Argentina drew their game as well, Spain and Portugal have drawn. So the favourites aren't doing too well so far this World Cup. Maybe see an upset, or will the big countries need to step up their game, because so far they've struggled, and Brazil in particular today did struggle against Switzerland. Switzerland held their own, and the thing is, I don't know why we're surprised. Maybe because Switzerland always start well in their tournament. I think they've won 3 and drawn 2, or something like that. So they've never lost the opening game of the World Cup. So we shouldn't have been surprised maybe that they started well. But they did, and they held Brazil to a 1-1 draw, which is a fantastic result for them. Obviously, they'll be going into the game against Serbia buoyed with confidence now. And for me, that's kind of blown it open, because I thought Serbia would qualify with Brazil in that group. But if Switzerland getting that point, that game against Serbia is going to be massive, because I think winner of that game will qualify to the World Cup next round, providing Brazil step up their game, of course, against Costa Rica. But anyway, that's my match day review, day 4. It's been a very interesting start to the World Cup. Tomorrow we've got England and Belgium. Let's see what we can get from them. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon.